Do you have to go potty? Do you need to go potty? I see you've been itching your owie again. Yeah, you're red on that side where you've itched it. I see. I thought I could see it somewhere right there. He keeps itching himself. He's got a big knot right there on top of his head where he's itched. He's just got allergies, too bad. Even in the wintertime. Hurry up, because I want to do a video outside. Can't do it when the dog's outside, because he likes to follow you everywhere. But Amazon delivered my products that I ordered, and I didn't recall ordering 4 of these, but I ended up with 4. So this is what it is. Bilberry and Eyebright teas. Bilberry is supposed to be very good for teas, or for your eyes, and then the Eyebright is very good for your eyes. So this is a maintain and prevention eye health, and that is taking 1 to 2 of these a day, and it says you can reuse the bags, which I'm going to use as compacts to put on my eyes. And then I also ordered this, a mushroom wellness blend, organic, and it's by this company. And this is what it contains. I'll just let you guys read it real quick. So I'm going to start drinking this too to try to help out with just my over wellness, you know, just to try to help out. So I've got my pot on. I just have to wait for it to start whistling, and then I figured we would go outside, and I want to show you guys right where I would like to put the chickens, and then I'll give you more of that. Where I would like the goat barn at, where the girls are going to go, where the boy goats are going to go, and where our steer and our goats that we feed out for meat, and possibly even doing a section for sheep. And that's for our ram that we have, and just getting a couple ewes to raise some sheep for meat. I'm thinking that maybe we'll do that too, and then where I want my garden at. So this video will probably be a little long, but we're just going to kind of walk back, and I'm going to kind of point out where I'd want stuff at and where I think it should be, and give you guys more details with that. So I'm going to wait for my tea to start, and then I'm going to take my tea out with me while I drink it and tell you guys about what all my plans are anyways for what I'm trying to do here on our homestead. Now this wasn't supposed to be at this video, but I had to show you guys the color of this rabbit fur. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Just the coloring of this rabbit hide. And this is out of Majestic, who's out of Honey, my chestnut doe, and she's a dark steel. She almost looks black, but she's got a lot of a gray steel look in her. Here's another one that's just beautiful. And these were all from her. And then there's this one too. This one is just gorgeous. Just look at the fur on it. Very, very pretty. And then it's got like lighter tones on the outside of it, like where its belly would have been at. Very pretty. These 3 I've got to put the solution on, and then these are all white ones. Mainly were my Californias, and I think she had a white one too, but I'm not for sure. But I've got to take what left of the salts on these off, because they're pretty covered in salt still. But most of them, like after I've got that off, this is what they look like. There's like no fat on them because I can't peel anything off of them. It's just very little. And I remember when my cousin did these, I told him, I was like, man, there's hardly any fat on these rabbits. And he's like, yep, they were very lean. Unlike some of the bigger ones that I've done, like last year, they had a lot of fat on them. But these are, you know, just 12 weeks, no older than 14 weeks old, because that's when I like to butcher, between 12 and 14 weeks. And this makes it so they're not as fatty too, and they're very lean, but you still get almost 3 to 4 pounds off of the rabbit after they're skinned and gutted and you know, on table. So I thought I would show that. I'm going to go ahead and get them oiled, fold them up so they can stay like that for 24 hours. And you open them up, let them like that, and then they're ready to start stretching. But what I'm doing is I'm just putting all these in once I get them oiled and they've done their 24 hours. And then 24 hours open, I'll put them in the box. And then once I get all these done, I'm going to start then stretching them. And then I'm going to start actually putting my colors together and start making me at least start my blankets on the ones that I'm going to do. But man, those are pretty. They are just beautiful. All right. I'd have to wait 20 minutes or so, and then it's going to be probably getting darker. So I kind of want to be out here before that happens. And when we go to actually look at this stuff, down here is where my orchard, my original garden was down here, but we didn't get enough light because we had so many trees around. Well, now that we don't have as many trees behind the house, this one right here, this one's got to come down, but that cherry right here has got to come down first so my husband can make it go this way. I thought our neighbors, they had somebody who could climb a tree, but I never got the number from them, and they're supposedly pretty cheap. But what my husband was thinking is once we get this big cherry down, he's going to get the rest of these trees down this spring. Like that big maple that fell on top of the house, and this maple that was there that fell on top of the house. And I mean, if we could just look around right through here, you can see all the trees that had been damaged with the storm when it came through. And then we have major damage, lots of tree damage back there for where actually the goats and the steer and all that's going to be. So this area here, I thought, if anything, we have, I think it's the electric, at least the internet, I think, is running from here that runs back to our neighbor's house way back here, but it comes like, I want to say just on the other side of that maple, comes through here and then goes up this way. It's only about 18 inches in the ground, but what my husband was thinking is just leveling this off enough to where he was thinking that this area right through here, like where Max was at, we could make as a little gathering, because I want like a gazebo and stuff to be out here. But now that I'm thinking, I think this is where the garden should go, just because it'd be easy for me to bring stuff in and out right here. So if I can make my garden, including my orchard, if my husband could fill this in a little bit, make this all one large area here, all the way over to about probably that maple tree and over. I could have all my garden beds, and I can go out a little further because we're going to make a road that comes off of the driveway, because we're rerouting the driveway because of the way we want the horse pens. So the driveway is actually going to come out about right here, and then it's going to come up this way and meet up right where our driveway comes up to the house and then go to the garage. But there'll be a drive that comes back here, and I'm thinking that I can minimize this whole top half here and have my husband fill this in, and we'll have to take some of these trees down. There's a big oak, that right there, that my husband wants to leave, and I think he wants to leave this big maple, or that's a beech there too. That big maple that's right there, that's got to come down because it's pretty dead. But that's my thinking for where I want the garden at. So now I've got to try to come through. I'm not sure if it'd be safe to come through here, or this fence is broke. So if I came through here, Oh yeah, my husband, well actually it's not where it's broke, it's just where this is a separate piece that went to that piece. But I've got to get over all this and come back. This is a mess from the storms because we kind of just stopped with this and kind of just was trying to concentrate on the rest of the property. So hopefully I don't trip and fall and hurt myself, because you really can't get through here much without, man, this, oh, get over this log. There's a little tree that came down. But yeah, you can see where the road was right here. So I was thinking, because I'm going to have my garden here and I want a gate, just for say, that'll come out to here, because I can bring the garden clear out to here if I have to, all the way over. And it could be a pretty decent sized garden with my orchard. But I was thinking that I want the goat barn to be pretty much right in here. Okay? And my does I want on this section of the property. And this kind of goes narrow, because on this side it kind of comes in, the neighbors, they got their drive, but it starts coming in a few feet as you get going down their driveway, where our property line comes in a little closer. So I want to be able to make a, not necessarily a drive around where the goats are going to be, but my husband would like to do that. So if that's the case, we'll be about 15 feet off the property line this way. But I think the barn should go right here, and then I can always have that add-on that I wanted onto the barn to come off this side, because the does are going to be on this half of the property. And I'm going to give them every bit that I can, because that's exactly where the rest of my, like my kids and my retiree goats are going to go, inside the doe pen. So I'll have like pins inside the doe pen, if that makes sense. And then from here, let me see if I can see good enough. Do I want to climb over that, or do I want to go this way? I think I'm going to try climbing over this. Yeah, okay. I got to really watch out here, because we've got, man, there's a lot of stuff down right here. Just stuff that's down. But as the drive comes through here, and then what my goal was is thinking of that we'll have a path go down in between the doe's pen and the pens where the steer and the goats will be raised, our meat goats anyways, for meat. I would like a section in between that for the sheep, and then that section coming this way, running this way. I'm going to have my boy goats over here. And we've got quite a bit of acreage to work with here. And then from there, if I can get over here, and see, and this will all be behind our house. But it is closer to where I'm at right now, having to walk up there. And my husband was trying to think of that, you know. How do I get the goats, the rabbits, my wife's garden, and everything she deals with daily closer to the house, so she doesn't have to be so far away? And I told him, I was just like, well, I'm not like for saying that I can't, you know, with my sight and everything, but I'm really hoping that I come back to the point of having good sight. So with that being said, oh, I forgot where I wanted my I want my rabbits to be on that side of the barn somewhere in that area, and I want them to be in a skid built barn. It's going to be built out of skids, and it's going to be able to house every single one of my rabbits in their big cages. That's the goal. My husband doesn't want them kind of out like how they are. He'd like them to be inside of a building, and I think it'd be cheapest, because you can get skids for practically nothing. to just, you know, not very much money. So with that being said, depending on how, there's just only going to be about 15 feet that go all the way around the property line. And this kind of goes back a little further that way. And it definitely goes back quite a ways. There's a big hill here, and then it goes down, and then it flattens out. But yeah, that all from here over going to be for my goats, my female goats anyways, and the rabbits. This side from this tree over is going to be for our steer, the feed outs for the goats that we end up having, sheep, and then the boy goats. And then from there, I would like to have a nice area for the chickens to be behind the big oak tree right there. So somewhere up and over here, there'll be a hut made out of skids, big enough to house all of our hens and have egg nesting boxes on the outside of it so I can lift up to get. And then they can be housed too. And I want it big enough to where Max can go in there and not have to be in a smaller area like he's in. He's in a larger area than he was, but with them chickens, he's a very good guarder for the chickens. We haven't lost any chickens that have been inside the pen to any like raccoons or anything like that since we put him in there, and that's been very great that that's worked out. Max really likes other animals. He's not mean or anything like that. Is that a rock? Or is that it's a stump, I think. I don't know who's whinnying. That kind of sounds like Captain, but I'm not for sure. But yeah, we still have quite a bit of ways that we could go this way with even chickens, you know, up on the property and back down. And then my husband still wants to do an area for turkeys. We want to do those heritage turkeys, have a Tom and a couple of hens to raise turkeys for us. And with that being said, I mean, I think that's a great idea for what I'm hoping for. And then I want to be able to build the boys a skid type barn too, where their hay can be inside the barn. And same with the steer and the sheep, all have some type of a skid barn that will be pretty decent. And I noticed that tree's got a mark on it. I don't even know what that is. I think that's an oak, but I don't know. I can't tell. No, I think that's a maple. That is a beech. It's a big beech too. My husband is probably thinking about leaving that. But if that were to fall, I think it would hit the house. It would definitely catch in that other beech first, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And we have a heck of a lot cleanup out here to do. I mean, I thought to myself, we wouldn't necessarily have to really like bulldoze any of this down or anything. We could just kind of leave it how it is and just level it out where we're putting fence at, because it's just goats that are going to be out here. Our goats, with the right fencing, they don't get out. They don't tromp it down. I mean, we don't have anybody get out, thankfully. And we haven't had any predators or anything like that, thankfully, to have to worry about with them. But we do have coyotes around here, and I'm not saying a coyote wouldn't take one of our goats down, because it's a good possibility they could. But I don't know if it's just because of Max being out here too. And I mean, I'm coming down hill here so you guys can see the difference of it going downhill. So that's where I'm going. I'm going back down here, and this is the area that I was talking, like, if I wished my husband could fill this in from like the corner of the house, maybe from that beach over, fill this in, and I could use this as garden area in my orchard. And I would want to fence this in because the deer, even though we haven't really seen any deer lately because a lot of them are dead, we still have deer that come and eat our stuff because I don't even know where it's at. I had a tree down here somewhere. I don't even see my trees. That sucks. I had a tree here. Somewhere in here, I thought. This one, I think this is my apple tree. I did have two, they're not even there, nectar trees that were self-pollinating because I was getting nectars off of them. And these are all, this is a Granny Smith apple tree. And this is a Red Delicious. That's a Red Delicious too, wherever it's at. And then I have another one right here. That's a Stark Brothers right here. This thing is, I don't know. It's got, I don't know what that is. Not sure. But yeah, and then I've got a bunch of edelberries down here too. Edelberries coming this way. But yeah, I think having the chickens up here would work great. So that is my my talking area of where I think I'm gonna have all of our goats and rabbits and all that put at. We'll definitely have to get some pads made, and then Zach and I, my cousin, this spring will have to start getting skids and start building stuff and get my rabbits moved and everything else that comes to it. And just try to get things filled in. This right here is our septic. It grinds our stuff and then feeds it out into the land with fingers, I guess is what it's called. It's one of the older systems. This light thingy here does not work. And it's not a light, but a outlet, which does not work. Man, that really tells you your Achilles heels. And there's the sun. It's going down. But yeah, I think this would be a good area. I don't know where I'd actually put our gathering area again, because I thought about putting it behind here, like over where we had the chickens, but my husband said if we ever build a garage, he wants it to be oversized to attach to the house. So it'd kind of be in there. So I don't know. He said he could put more rings on that and lift it up so it'd be level with all this. I think if we could just fill that all in anyways and just make it one big area. But we'll see what we can do. So those that are new, I mean, the plans are to put the horse pastures running this way now instead of running this way. We're going to make them long ways running this way. So Diamond and Jill will be the last ones that get moved, obviously. I heard Dixie. There she is. What are you doing, Mama Kitty? That is Rascal's mama. She can't have kittens no more. She's fixed, aren't you? Say it's a good thing. We don't want no more kitties. But my thing is too is like I don't know where my shop's gonna go, because I would like to get a shop built. And I thought, man, if I could have enough skids, I'd probably build a shop with skids too. Have me like a shop built from the skids. And I thought to myself, since the driveway's gonna come this way, right through here, and kind of match up here and go to the garage, I thought if we we had filled this all in, I could put me a small shop right here. I don't know. I was thinking like a 20 by 20, kind of the size of my barn. I think that would be more than big enough for my shop, and I could still make stuff in it and have all my supplies in there. And I thought, you know what, it could probably be all right here. And then this is going to have to get filled in because this is right where our drive is supposed to go back to the back at. And with that being said, there's just a little bit of water in there because that's suited up, my husband said. And that's why it's holding water now. Because all the soot that came out of that when it flowed down it ended up causing that. So, hi Diamond, yes. So their pin's going to come over to about not quite where their pin is now. It's going to be about 20 feet off of this right here, and then it's going to go up into the chicken coop. We're basically giving them whatever this is lengthwise. And then my plan was, if we could do it, and I don't know if we have enough room to do it with, but I thought about giving the two horses 100 feet on both sides of their area. And then these guys would get like 150 between theirs, but I think that's going to push Diamond and Jill even further this way. Because what we got to do is try to give them as much pasture as we possibly can. We know that we're still going to be feeding hay, but hopefully not as much. They're going to need, I'm thinking we're going to do skids too with them. Skid home buildings, like the 2 can have like an 18 by 20. I think the 3 should have a building at least the size of the barn to be able to have their round bell feeder in and be able to go in and out of, so they're staying dry and have an area to lay in that's dry. And the way that my husband wants to do their feeders is put it on concrete, so there's not so much waste. They waste so much hay. Horses waste hay, the rabbits waste hay, the goats waste hay, everybody wastes hay. But yeah, the goal is to, Megan and Captain are going to start up there, and their pin is probably going to come down to basically right where their hut is. So they're going to get this all the way up to the front of the property minus 15 feet or so from the road, because we want to drive around so we can check everything. There's the sun again. It's like following me as I go around the property. But yeah, it should come out to about right here. And then come this way and run clear that way. So it should be just on that side, this way, going this way. This will be theirs, which I think is more than enough than they need. And I think this is over 200 feet actually, because from where I did from the driveway down to the end of their pen is 385 feet. In the spring I'll redo this. I'm gonna kind of run it out so I can see where we are on everything. Just kind of make sure that it's all exactly how we want it. I mean, when you buy a property like this and it's fully wooded, you know, because our property was fully wooded, you can actually see and make changes and changes again. Look at that sun shining. To be seen, you know. But we still got to take down all these trees because my husband does not want any trees in with the horses that could necessarily damage or hurt anything. So like from here, I don't know where exactly 100 feet is. From where I'm thinking, probably about right here. And their gates are going to be at this end too. So there, he wants to be able to turn in here with a round bale, you know, and come in. So the fence is going to be off of our driveway a little ways, and he wanted to extend this out anyways to make a little bit of a wider driveway. So just for say, their pins are probably going to be roughly, man, I wish I had my, you know what, I'm going to walk back up there and I'm going to see right where 200 feet would be at and see if that's exactly what we need. So I'm going to take you guys with me. This video's already this long, but I'm not going to bore you guys walking back up the driveway and back into the house to grab that and walk all the way back out here. I'll just have to come back when I get that done and ready. Okay, I went up and got it. So I'm a little over halfway down the driveway now. And we're going to go 100 feet and see where that gets us. And I think my husband's going to use the same gates, but I'm not for sure. He was talking about possibly putting bigger gates in. Just in case, you know, we end up getting us a tractor, which is what we're going to be getting when our homestead is completely done. But from here, there's going to be a half of a drive that comes out right through here, this area, come out through here. So I'm going to start about right here, and I want you guys to see. Is it at 0? I can't tell. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to, okay, now it's at 0. So we're starting right here at this poplar, as you guys can see, right there. That's about 15 to 20 feet. So then we're going to go, hopefully 100 feet. I can see it where it should be about. I might have to stop a couple times just to look. I can't even see where they're at. Looks like 90 something. Okay. We're going to be close to 100. I think right there. Yep. You guys can see that, right? So right here is 100 feet. Man, that doesn't seem like very long, does it? So right here at like this group of dead poplars is 100 feet. So then we got to do about, I don't know, I think it's only 8 feet. I'm going to go to about right here, whatever this is, to this post, or it's not a post, but a stump that's out right here. It's a give and take for a gate. And then I'm going to clear this again, if I can hold my phone and do this all at the same time. Okay, now we're going to do 100 feet going this way. See where 100 feet is, because like I said, I'd like to give them all 100 feet on each side of their gate. Basically the 2 horses anyways. That looks like 70. That looked like it turned over to 100 too. I can't see what that says. That says a 9, I think. It's not quite at 100. Let's see what this is up to this one. Right here. I can't see it. Can you guys see it? I can't even see what that says. So this point right here is 101 feet from where I was down there. So at this oak tree here, where it comes into like the 3, but this one from the big one. So now I'm gonna do, I gotta clear this and see what we get for for the second group. So Captain and Meg's doesn't quite come clear out to theirs. I'm going to take it to like right here and see what we get. Where are we at? I can't tell what that says. So right here is another 100 feet right to this little maple right here. And then it'll have to be a gate. I think we should go probably 130 feet for the 3 horses. So I'm going to keep going and see what we don't get. Because they need just a tad bit bigger because they got 1 extra horse in there. And I think if we were to do like to here, whatever this says, 100 and something. But I can't see what it says. From back there where I was to right here to where their pen starts is only 105 feet. That's, I still need another 30 feet, and that's going to shorten their pen up because I just don't have quite enough. Like if I do the 130, which should be about probably that's 12. That's 24. This probably right here would be the 35, I'm thinking. Is that what that says? It says 1 something. I think that says 140. 130 feet. So we're looking like right through here would be the 3s. So they would have just about 70 more feet in the width of what everybody else would have. So now this is like kind of difficult because this is gonna give them not a very big space. We could do it if we just did everybody's equal, like 100 feet, then a gate, 100 feet, and then a gate, and then 100 feet, and then a gate, and 100 feet, and then a gate, you know, at the end of it, because right now we've only got, and actually my husband wanted the drive to come right through here and go down right from the driveway this way and then go up and around. But I don't know, we're gonna have to see how this works, because he wants to stay 20 feet away from the garage in case he puts a lean-to on it, because it'll be on this side of it. And then Diamond and Jill's was basically supposed to be in where they are in the horses, just up a little further this way and going straight back. But I mean, if we were to like come here and I go clear, like just to say, we can figure out how many feet we're going to be lengthwise. So let me clear this, and we're going to walk this all the way up there and see how far back we are. Basically to the point of everyone's going to have pretty much the same length of having their pins be the same length behind. I know, Maverick, you're hungry, aren't you? You guys think you are. You need to eat the rest of that yucky hay right there. It is. It's been rained on, and that's why my husband don't want to buy any more round bales that are first cutting, because they're not green anymore. They're supposed to be from this year, but man, they look like straw. So we're going to come back, kind of see how far back we can get. Coming back this way. What are you girls doing? You walking up with me? We had a tree right there, this tree. This is at our 15-foot mark, because right there is the property line. But this right here was where we're supposed to be. So that's what we've got for the length. So with that being said, I think all we're going to do is be able to only give them 100 feet on each side of their gate, and then the length, even for the 3, we ain't got no choice, because that'll shorten Diamond and Jill's up, so they won't have quite as much as pasture as everybody. But I don't know, unless we only do 75 for the, it'd be 150 in the front and 3 something in the rear. Dang, girl, you look big. Look at the baby bump on you. Okay, tell everybody bye, Willow. Say bye-bye. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Kind of to see what next spring's gonna be like. A lot of work trying to get done here, and basically try to get these guys moved so then we can get the horses done, and then because we got to get the goats moved first and my rabbits before we can even finish the rest of this. but we can only do the horses in sections because that's all we can really afford. So with that being said, thank you guys again for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Till next time, God bless.